Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unlock Your Learning. In this video we are going to solve NCERT Maths Class 6 Chapter 11 Algebra Exercise 11.5 question number 1. So friends, without wasting any time, let's begin. This question is, state which of the following are equations with a variable, give reasons for your answer, identify the variable from the equations with a variable. Now we have to tell that out of these given expressions which are equations with variables. Okay, we have to tell that, and we also have to tell that what is the variable in those equations. So what is an equation? Equation is basically an expression which contains an equal to sign which divides the expression into two sides, left hand side and right hand side, that is LHS and RHS, right? Also, if there is a variable in that equation, then you will say it is an equation with a variable. But if there is no variable and only numbers are there, then that becomes a numerical equation. Okay, so let us start. First is this one. So a is 17 is equal to x plus 7. So if you see in this, you can see that clearly we have an equal sign here, and also you can see is there that we have a variable here x. So that means you can see that what it is an equation with a variable. So yes, you can write here it is an equation, okay, with a variable. Okay, so with a variable, and that variable is what? X, right? So you can write x in the brackets. So this is x. Let's move on to the b part. Now this one is b part. T minus 7 is greater than 5. Now if you see this, so again it is an equation or not? No, you can see there is a variable which is t, but there is no equation sign in this, right? Sorry, equal sign. So that means this becomes this is not an equation. So no, it is not an equation. Okay, and why is it not an equation? Because it does not have the equal sign here. Now next part is this one. 4 upon 2 is equal to 2. Okay, now if you see here, so again you can see there is an equal sign here, but it is not an equation once again, because because it is a numerical equation. Why? Because only numbers are used here, there is no variable. So it is asking us equation with a variable, but here no variable is there. So you can again say that no, it is not an equation. Okay, not an equation with a variable. Basically it is a numeric equation but not with a variable, because no variable is used. Let's move on to the next part. Next is the d part. This is 7 into 3 minus 19 is equal to 8. Is equal to 8. Now again if you see, so there is equal sign here, but again what can you see is no variable used here as well, right? So it is a numerical equation, but it is not an equation with a variable. So no, it is not an equation. And if you want to add further on, you can write equation with a variable, right? So now let's move on to the next part. Now let's see the next part. This is 5 into 4 minus 8 is equal to 2x. If you see here, so this is an equal sign here also, and what you see is this x here, which is a variable. So that means it is fulfilling all the conditions for an equation with a variable. That means yes, it is an equation. Okay, first, and second what we will write is with a variable, and that variable is what? X. So you can mention it here, x, right? So yes, it is an equation with a variable x. Now f part is x minus 2 is equal to 0. Again, if you see this, so this is x, so this is a variable, this is the equal sign here, right? So all the condition equal sign and a variable are here, so that means yes, again it is an equation. And then what we will write? Equation with a variable, and that variable again over here is x, right? Now let's move on to the next part. Friends, next part is g part. This is 2m is greater than 30. Now again you see we have a variable here m, but this is not an equal sign. So is it an equation? No, it is not an equation. And why is it not an equation? Because it is not having the equal sign. So you can write here, no, it is not an equation. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Friends, next part is 2n plus 1 is equal to 11. Again, if you see here, so you can see we have this n, which is a variable, and we have this equal sign, which is of course necessary for an equation. So again it is fulfilling all the conditions for an equation with a variable, that is having a variable and of course having the equal sign. So you can say yes, it is an equation, okay, with a variable and that variable is n. So you can write over here. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Now next part is this one, I part, and that is 7 is equal to 11 multiplied by 5 minus 12 multiplied by 4. Again if you see here, so this is the equal sign, and do you find a variable anywhere over here? No. So that means again no, it is not an equation, okay, with a variable, because there is no variable in this. Let's move on to the next part. Friends, let's move on to the next part. This part is j part, and this is 7 is equal to 11 into 2 plus p, right? Now if you see here, so can you see the equal mark in this question? Yes, you can see here this is. Now if you see one thing, then that is the equal mark. Can you see a variable in this? Yes, you can see this is the variable. So that means it is fulfilling again all the conditions. So yes, it is an equation with the variable, and in brackets you can write the variable here, right? So yes, it is an equation with the variable p. Friends, let's move on. So this is the k part, 20 is equal to 5y. Again you see, so we have this equal to sign and this variable y. So again you can say yes, it is an equation, okay, an equation with a variable, and that variable is y here, right? So you have to write the variable also. It is mentioned in the question that it is asking the variable, so write the variable as well. Let's move on to the next part. Now next part is L part. This is 3q upon 2 is smaller than 5. Now you see here, so yes, you can see this is a variable here q, but again we do not have any equal sign over here. So no, it is not an equation because equal sign is very important. So no, it is not an equation, right? Okay, let's move on to the next part. So next part is the m part. This is z plus 12 is greater than 24. Now you see here, so you can see any variable here. Yes, this z is a variable. Can you see any equal mark here, equal to sign? No. You can see this greater than sign is there, but no equal to sign is there. So this is not required. That means it is not an equation. So no, it is not an equation, right? Let's move on to the next part. Let's move on to the next part. This is the n part. This is 20 minus 10 minus 5 is equal to 3 into 5. If you see here, so you can see this is an equal sign here, but again no variable here. So that means no, it is not an equation, right? So it is not an equation. Let's move on to the last part. Now let us move on to the next part. This is 7 minus x is equal to 5. So if you see here, so again we have a variable here, that is x, and also we have an equal mark here, right? That means it is an equation. So you can write over here, yes, it is an equation with the variable, and that variable is over here x, right? So variable x. Okay, so this is an equation with the variable x. And friends, this is all for today. If you are new to my YouTube channel, do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon down below so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Also leave a like on this video. Till then, stay home, stay safe, wear a mask, maintain social distancing, and take good care of yourself. Bye bye.